Hello everybody, I hope my computer gets fixed. There's nothing wrong with the computer, it just overloaded or something. But anyway, in relation to Takasha, the design date is 10% of the GST. In relation to the GST, the conclusion is 1 on 8, 1 on 8 for the fifth division to complex itself into network 5. The also foundation is the Rabala of law based upon the intermission. Any intermission is a program to design day 10 in relation to the hellholder. The return home is the hellholder but the dimension in the element of design. For my offer is, what's your offer? The tray of 1 on time and 1 on time is a talibear to confuse itself, not confuse itself, F-U-S-E, is the internal of law. Next time I'll have the infusion for the composition. Any composition you have banana or lalala in the pakashagana. In an eye test of Rumpelstiltskin, you also need to know the composition. The composition of a telephone is the fifth wave by the menon of the landline. In this way, the takashagana will be in the subject. One of the creator has got the telephone. He needs the SD card and the SD card and the SIM card in it. Next time it will be a telephone in the watch to know how to control it. The next manifestation is law based upon my offer is, what's your offer? The episode of 3241 and 3241 is a dibblems of knowing how to control itself into the anonym by the news reporter. The news reporter will conquer itself into the data of 1p 1p in relation to knowing how to do so. The amateur is 1 on time for trash and 1 on 2 for trash. In each trash, this way is the computer system to trash itself into the envelope. Any envelope you can have the hellholder to democracy itself into law of even. The computer system will sing a song in relation to the voice over IP. Any voice over IP by the Mananang is the Pakishan of Noor. I am just testing the mind power in relation to the evolution of time, controlling the mind power and also executing into the EXC, execute. The computer might be able to execute a certain update, but I am not unsure when it updates itself into the evolution of time for its conclusion, because in the computer system it analyzes itself into the demation. The demation is 1 on time, 6 on time for the blueprint by brown, blue, pink 1, brown, blue, pink 1 in relation to the negativity. The negativity is the longitudinal of the longitude to know that the external of the satellite will position itself into the data core. Any data core is the way in to control itself into the network of 1. The compromise issue of the matter is the Patishkana by the Tekashana and the donation in relation to the Magana. The Anana is the third technology by the position of a timer to sing a song in the Magana, and in that way it learns so. But perhaps in a matter of time, the composition of the door is the 11% of D time for the delay. Not delay, delay. The delay is 1 on time, 6 on time for the position of the timer to sing a song into the Vietnam. Vietnam is XG P5 and the instrument of law by the composition. This composition is the brain power by the maximum number of door to 1143. Cell CE1 independent. The controller is the unity of law by the answer of law based upon the element of law by the composition. Each composition is a hellholder to democratize the law. Any democratize of the law is composition to return home by the manifestation. In the evala of the technology, it will pin out the corrects of the timer to and from the return home. The manifestation will be inside of law based upon the instrument of law by the composition. Each composition is a data of the USB. The USB is 13 on 8 and 13 on 8 by 12 decimal. The 12 decimal of this USB is the sun. U time. U time. The controller will be in the Takashgana. by the Takakanan and the Anana by its position. Each position is a data core of the technology to position itself into the cortex. Any cortex is the diameter of the Pakashkanan and the Anana. So, when you sing a song into the Roma, Osha, Okuno, but the vocabulary for Dr. T. Sandra is the invitation of voice over IP. The voice over IP will change into the measurement of time to conclude itself into the anana. In that time, when you have pakashana or anana, you will pin out the cortex of the data core technology. In that time, the data core of technology will be way in to control itself into a network of 5 by its own position. Its own position is the data core of technology for the pitikasanang and the ananana by the maximum number of papakashan. Do I need hairspray? Don't think so. But in a matter of time, when you work out the cortex of the conclusion, you work out the maximum number of intelligent. In the intelligent of 1313, each one of you will convert itself into flash out. Flash out will give you the USB 3.5 and the USB 3.5. Diblums, dimension USB 3.3 and USB 3.3 diblums, dimension 8818 or 8818, conversion ANDI 1 ANDI 1, conversion ANDI 1 ANDI 1, independency 1324, independency 1324, diblums of evolution conclusion 1 4825 6824, division 6, compliance network 1, border IIS 318, border modular 1313, modular 1313, fifth division, rewrite rules, apakashang, rewrite rules, tachakashna, rewrite rules, tachakonong. Is an alien sound. In the computer, there is nothing wrong with that computer, it just doesn't boot up. But in a matter of time, when it gets updated, it will conclude into the next hemisphere, in the Kompanana. The diblums will exoner the law based upon the instrument of law by the composition. The composition will be marking itself into the 11th door of Hellholder to democracy the law of the measurement. In the matter of time, when you convert yourself into the element of the law, you will reposition itself into the doors of heaven. In relation to doors of heaven, the composition of a timer will be the hour light of the D time. In that time, when you work out the cortex, you'll be in day 10 to position itself into the composition. The composition of the jewelry will convert itself into the measurement of time for the fifth border. In that way, when you conclude itself into the data, you also have the intermission of your mind to upgrade into 3C, 6C in the evolution of time. In that way, when it concludes itself into the evolution of time, the maximum number of door will be 1143 by its own position. And in that time, when it works out the cortex, it works out the Dadana projection. Nama Eshkan Ankana. It's a language. In the language, to know how to sing a song in relation to the demon, it forms itself into Andy Bocevich to income the producta. The producta will be injected, yes, in relation to the composition. Any composition that when it get injected, this IIP is 13136541, Division 6, Compliance Network 1. In that way, it works out the cortex of the particular of the bubble bum. The bubble bum is the tachakana of the banana by the ashkana of papana, aga, and tongononon. So the vocabulary will be very hard to relax your mind, Yoda. You need to know the vocabulary. The vocabulary is the tashkana to get what you get to send through the signal of the segmentation. Any segmentation will be the one into also. In that way, and in this way, the diameter will be the win-in of pole vision. In the time of the provision, it will select the internal frame by the border and to position itself into the cortex. The cortex will be 3636, Division 6, Compliance Network 1, or OR and ANT. Sing a song. The fifth division for the complexity of Elvis Presley is the Condor of One on Time by satellite number 1. The satellite will be the way for this wiki to perform itself into Wi-Fi of 3824, which is the sun position of a timer. Each scanner will work out the directs of the position of Dr. Lee Sandra to reprogram itself into the 11% of the treehouse. In that time, when Dr. Sandra know how to conclude itself into the evolution of time, she will work out the corrects of its position in this Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi will be the scanner of 3D631349, division and compliance of network 1. There's nothing wrong with it. But in a matter of time, the composition of a timer, I'll wait for my computer to come back and then I'll scan them and put them on Facebook. But in a matter of time, the conclusion of the element will be the way in of Everlar. In the Everlar of technology, it will be positioning itself into the corrects of the retimer to and from the position of the dorex and to and from the position of the timer. So when the camera changes, it works out your money to machine the game and to export in a certain amount of delay. Not delay, delay, not dear, D-E-A-R, delay. In relation to delay, the rework of the button and the partition will be intentional. So each partition in the computer system will minimize the issue of a matter and to compromise the issue of the matter in a single song of work out 8-5. So the position time is 6%. Yes, but in the day of 10, the tree only had 1%. But then how come some more chili flowers not growing? It's a different sun and sand. But in relay of the delay, it will dig itself into the position of a timer to conclude the evolution of time. And in that time, it works out the corrects. And in the corrects of Jesus, it will point itself into the division by the complexity of network 5. So Jesus, in relation to knowing how to relax the mind, it talks to you in relation to the evolution of time. But in that time, when the composition of the timer will be 3DFD15, it will reposition itself into this drawing. So when my printer comes back, the printer will work with the scanner and I'll go back to Facebook. But in a matter of time, the composition is A and A. Anything else?